Hey, how you doing? Just want to share some images here with you today that are in focus, but when you look at them a little bit closer, it looks like they're not in focus. So you can see this cell phone tower uh, clearly in focus, and this object, when you zoom in on it, looks like it's not in focus. Same thing with this image here. Clearly this is in focus. This camera is set in a landscape setting, which puts anything past 50 feet in focus. That transformer over there is probably 300 feet away, and that object, hard telling how far away it is. But when you zoom in on it, it doesn't look like it's in focus at all. It just looks like a blurry light in the distance, which brings me to a point here. I don't know if you've ever seen a painting called Nude Descending a Staircase by Marcel Duchamp, 1912. If you haven't ever seen that painting, it's just absolutely incredible. Pure genius. What he's done in that painting is what you see in some of these images that I take here. They're in focus, but when you get in close to them, they sure don't look like it. But what he did in that painting is exactly what you can do with photography equipment, as in a video, for instance. When you're taking a video, you're getting anywhere from 30 to 60 images a second. So within that same second, if you take one image, that object's going to move, if that's what it's doing, the same rate, but it's going to look different simply because of how many images were taken during that movement. So Duchamp in that painting did exactly what you get when you take a photograph of a long exposure at night. He put several images in one painting. Just genius at the time. I mean, it's just incredible. So try and keep that in mind when you're looking at some of these images here, and don't get thrown off by the fact that something like this, which is a screen grab, is capable of doing things like that during flight. I mean, that's not a blurred image. What that is basically, just like Duchamp's painting, is several images in a series, a sequence of movement captured all in one photograph. So if you look at it the right way, you can kind of see what's going on. If you just section that long image off into pieces like individual photographs, you can see a little better what's going on. Now this image here is enhanced, and it's this photograph right here, which I find a little interesting, because you can see light here as though this object were an orb, which I think it is, traveling along. But I always get this before and after trail in these images that still having a hard time figuring out why that is. But with this particular photograph, I've got a 90-degree image as well in this photograph. So that's kind of perplexing to me anyway. I get fooled easy. But you see how this is changing shape? Now it's got a red and a green aspect to it, which makes me wonder if you could see a magnetic field. Now red and green are opposites on a color wheel, and as we know, north and south on a magnet are opposites. If you could see them, would they be opposite colors? In other words, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But these things here, like I said, this is a screen grab of one of these orbs. So you're only going to get a momentary image of it. And if you take and drag that image out over a 1 second period, you're going to get something, in my opinion, that looks like this. Like I said, I'm not trying to fool anybody. I'm just taking images at night, and you cannot take, thousandth of a second images at night. It's just not possible. So what you get is the image, or the object, I should say, as it's moving through the air and powering up, powering down, and changing colors. Kind of fascinating, really. And it can do things like that. You can see it pushing and pulling, coming toward and pushing away from the camera and changing colors as it goes. Pretty sure that's not an airplane. Might be mistaken, but they just don't look like it. They look like some kind of orbs powering up and changing colors as they go. I mean, in this image here, I can see the orb right here. It's moved over here. Now, which way it's going, I don't know. Right to left, left to right. Either way, I still see the object here and this light being emanated from this object, and then it powers down. If that was an airplane light, it would either be the whole time red or the whole time white. It wouldn't be changing colors. They don't do that. These things do, whatever they are. So anyway, I appreciate you watching if you actually did. Take care.